Well, we spoke a little too soon. We hit a really shallow spot. You can see where we just totally dug into the sand over there. And we got Desiree as a mule horse pulling us along. This is a great way to travel. This is a wonderful way to see the area.
Bahia de Ascension. It's really pretty outside. We had a little bit of breeze as we came in, so a little sprinkle, which was really awesome. We got here, the boat's a total disaster as it always is. Got our cushions that we switched from the deck down here, our camera bag, just tons of crap everywhere. Right now Jordan's inflating the dinghy. I'm gonna bring him my little dinghy bag that I made, and we're just kind of putting the boat back together, putting up the sunshades, putting the sail covers on. And yeah, I'll give you guys a look of where we are. Really, really pretty. The water is this beautiful color. And our friend's boat is over there. So they've been waiting for us. As soon as we finish up, they said they've got some cold beers for us. So here's Jordan. How you feeling, bud?
Good. Just blowing.
Yeah?
Blowing the dinghy.
You're looking pretty good, buddy.
I get that a lot.
Anyway, that's the bay that we're in. Actually reminds us both a lot of our favorite spot in Key West called Jewfish Basin.
Okay, what you doing, bud?
Oh, just showering in my living room. NBD.
Normally we shower on the foredeck so that we don't get our living room soaking wet, but Desiree wanted to do it today.
You know why?
Because you're the boss?
Because most people don't get to take a shower in their goddamn living room, but I do. But this is like hashtag luxury. Write that down. I kind of, usually when we cruise, well usually, not like we're seasoned experts, but we were getting in the habit last time when we were in Cuba of, you know, just like putting cold drinks in the fridge and having a couple beers ready for when we got to our destination. But this time I kind of forgot a lot of the things that I used to do to make life nice once we arrived. So no cold drinks, unfortunately. But the good thing is that we have our friends right next door, and they've got a huge refrigerator. So they've invited us over for a couple of drinks. Then I'm gonna make dinner, and then I'm gonna pass out. Oh, yeah.
So, I'm cooking a little bit of breakfast, and we're having, what? Oh. Yeah, you like my hairband? This is what cool kids do to keep their hair out of their eyes when they cook. Oh man, what awesome hair. Okay, so, cooking some mushrooms and onions. Got some, I got some bacon over here. Boom, bacon. Got Desiree sleeping in over there, which is good because that means she'll be in a good mood today. And everybody's happy, and we've got this beautiful bay that we're in. Yeah, we're loving it out here. It's beautiful. Really quiet, really peaceful, and this sunshade is killing it right now. Really making things comfortable here in the cockpit. And yeah, I'm not even sure what we're gonna do today. We might just rest, and then a little bit later on move down the bay towards a couple of estuaries that our friends were telling us about. And I guess the fishing's really good over there, so go check that out.
All right, well, we've pretty much got the boat stowed for just a little motor to an anchorage that our friends know about. It's probably not written about in a cruising guide, so we're excited to see where it is and what it's like. And Jordan's getting the autopilot ready. We're both kind of getting our sun protection going. He's ahead of the game. I still have to put my sunscreen and sun shirt on. But anyway, yeah, you can see the color of the water behind us is so beautiful. And it was a nice morning. We actually woke up this morning at about 5 o'clock and went on a moonlit swim just for fun, and it was really pretty. So we slept in, had a long breakfast, and now we're heading out to the next anchorage. So we're actually gonna try something new today. We haven't ever really motored for a long period with this sunshade up. So we're gonna try leaving it up how it is. And then we've got the dinghy that we're gonna tow behind us, and then we're gonna try to sail with the mizzen and is it the jib or the Genoa? I guess the Genoa. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. If it works out, then you know, once we're cruising and doing just little, you know, 2-hour trips to get from one place to another, we can use this strategy.
Yeah, so we're gonna be sailing jib and jigger. We'll probably be motor sailing because I don't know if there's enough wind to get us going under just the mizzen and the Genoa. But it'll just allow us to motor sail with some stability. It's only 10 miles away, and it takes so long to get this sunshade set up. So it'll be cool because we'll have it'll be a really comfortable sail. We'll have a ton of shade.
So there's Atticus. We've got our Genoa up. Got the mizzen up right now. We're thinking about taking it down because it's not really adding that much speed. But yeah, it's just a really beautiful day. Days like this kind of remind me why we bought a boat in the first place. So even though the journey down here was a little bit physically and emotionally draining, and it kind of had me questioning why the heck we're doing this, today was a very, very redeeming day, and we just got like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to our destination. And yeah, it's just beautiful water all around. Reminds me a lot of Key West, actually. It's crazy to believe that we're in Mexico now. Hey bud.
Yo.
What do you think of our motor sailing configuration today?
Man, I'm loving it. I mean, the sailor in me thinks I'm selling out right now. Like, I should be trying to sail, and I should, more than that, I should want to sail, but there's very little wind. We're pretty much going downwind, so there's almost no apparent wind. And we're only traveling 2 hours in this protected bay, or, you know, like 10 or 12 miles away. So we just kept the sunshade up, and I mean, it's great. I've got shade, it's super stable. We've got the electronic tiller pilot driving the boat, so we don't need to, you know, fiddle with it like we would the Windvane. And I mean, it's just, everything is hands-off right now, which is so unlike most of our travels. Normally, we're constantly adjusting the sails, constantly adjusting the Windvane, constantly checking our course and looking out for hazards. But there's an open bay, sandy bottom, you know, control. They're all 12 feet deep, and we've got shade. I mean, this is awesome. Flat calm. Yeah, makes me want like a power cat or something. You know what I mean? This is luxury.
So I'm gonna yell a little bit, but we're heading to check out a couple of little mangrove rivers and mazes and little rivulets to get to where we're going. There's a really big, substantial sandbar, so we decided to just walk the dinghy across it. So there's a little bit in the background.
And the pack mule carrying it. Yeah, this has gotta be like 6 inches of water. I mean, it's barely up to my shins. But that's the great thing about little shit is once you bring the motor up, I mean, she only draws 4 inches probably, maybe 5. So when you run into situations like this, there's, you know, you're not held back by the depth really. So anyway, we're just glad that we didn't try and plane over it. But you can see this sandbar, it's only like 40 feet wide, and it goes out for what looks like probably half a mile. So we were told that up ahead there's some rivers that cut through, or some cuts that go through this island. So that's what we're gonna go try and find right now. So we've had an enjoyable day out on the water and exploring some of these mangrove islands and beaches, and we just finished dinner and it was delicious. Desiree cooked up an excellent meal, and now it's time for our favorite part of the day, getting to watch House of Cards and the Caribbean sunset at the same time. Very exciting. This is gonna be awesome. We are gonna finish up breakfast, and then we're gonna go explore some of the kind of cuts that go there's a bunch of mangrove rivers that cut into the mainland, so we're gonna go explore them on the dinghy on Little Shit.
Cool. How was sleep last night?
So we didn't sleep all that well last night because we wanted to get close to these like flats and shallows in a lot of these mangrove rivers. So the only way to get close to them relatively was to anchor in the lee of this just kind of shoaly area. So we're not very well protected, and last night the winds piped up, you know, probably to 18 knots, nothing crazy, but we got a lot of chop in here, and it really kind of made for an uncomfortable night of sleep. The anchor held just fine. The bottom's really good here. I mean, it's kind of like a coarse sand, so we shouldn't have any problem dragging, but comfort level was not at an all-time high. But we're gonna be moving tonight to potentially a more protected area, which will be nice. So
I think I'm getting a little antsy because usually we've kind of cruised on our own, so we kind of figure out our own schedule. So, you know, first world problem, but it's been just kind of like, okay, we're gonna move the boat now. Okay, we'll follow you. So I'm excited to just explore because that's just unambiguously awesome.
Ascension, on our way to an entrance into a bunch of like mangrove mazes.
And we decided to let Little Shit be free.
Go, Little Shit, go! Get out of here! Anyway, no, so what we wanted to do was just show you, like, we're zooming along these flats for miles, and it's only, as you can see, the water is just above my knees, and this whole bay is definitely like, you know, a couple miles wide in almost every direction. So, I mean, it's just beautiful here, and riding around on Little Shit is just perfect because, you know, we're protected enough so that the chop doesn't get kicked up, but yet we're just flying, like skimming along this crystal clear water and seeing the sand go by and little, you know, critters and fish and birds. So yeah, this is This is an ideal area for just zooming around on the dinghy and exploring for the day. Well, we spoke a little too soon. We hit a really shallow spot. You can see where we just totally dug into the sand over there. And we got Desiree as a mule horse pulling us along. This is a great way to travel. You know what I mean? This is a wonderful way to see the area.
Itching to hop in, cool down a little bit. Got some leftover pancakes from breakfast, so gonna beach the dinghy and kind of hang out a little bit. What do you want to call it?
Pleasure Island.
Ah.
Which, talk about tropical paradise. This really looks like one, you know? Oh god. Gross. It smells bad. Oh god. Paradise is awful.
Alright, well we just got back from kind of exploring on the dinghy, and we're having a little bit of a nibble before we head over to John and Eon's boat to play some cards. But yeah, yesterday I just made a whole chicken, and with the broth left over I made, whoops, some soup. Not necessarily what you want to eat on a hot day, but it's actually pretty cool under here in the shade with the breeze coming through. So, it's pretty tasty. Reminds me of my mom. Chicken soup.
It was so good. I was really hungry after exploring, you know, just being hot and salty and like, you know, thirsty. It was really good. It's just really like exhausting to be out in the sun, hot, salty, you know, exposed. And we got back to Atticus, you know, hungry and tired, and we got under the sunshade. I just realized, like, this is paradise, is being able to see everything but have this shelter, have your home in the middle of this big beautiful bay with this turquoise water everywhere, and yet be protected from the elements. So this is great, and it's so funny seeing how small Atticus is coming up to it, but yet you get in here and you're just like, this is awesome, you know? Yeah, I'm loving it. Alright. Oh.
Good head movement, buddy. Yeah, that's commitment. Well, oh yeah. And a little hip movement.